I'm sure you guys have seen the whole story of this astronomer CEO and the VP of HR for the company Astronomer caught at a Coldplay concert on the kissing cam. And as soon as the camera pans to them, the woman's like, like cowering, kind of hiding away. And turns out, I guess both of them are married and have families. And they were basically caught cheating with their spouses at this concert. And like I said, you probably saw this video, but if you didn't, kind of want to fill you in on that. And it looks like they were caught in what seems to be a romantic moment at a Coldplay concert. And the internet exploded. And at first, it just seems like another corporate scandal, something that you see all the time. But like the more I thought about it, and what really made me make this video is like just the fact that corporate America isn't run by people that are better than you or better than me or better than the average person. And matter of fact, they might be worse. So today I want to kind of unpack this viral moment that's going around, all over, and kind of what it says just about company culture, hypocrisy, and really the dangerous game of cancel culture that we're all trapped in, whether you're a CEO, a janitor, or somewhere in between. So, just for context, there was basically a Coldplay concert, like I said, and the astronomer CEO and the VP of HR were caught, I guess, like kind of hugging, and like he was like basically like she was in front of him, like kind of like grinding on him or just kind of like leaning back towards him, and he had his arms around her. And as soon as the camera pans towards them, the girl like immediately covered her face and like kind of like avoided the camera. And you know what's funny? This is a side note before I dive into this. You know what's so funny about this is like if that chick would have just owned it and just would have stayed still and acted like nothing's wrong, they wouldn't have went viral. That's what's so funny about the situation. Like this is why as a man, you gotta be careful of these things. Or as a girl, you gotta be careful of these things. Like if she would have just not freaked out or tried to like dodge it, they would have just thought they're a normal couple. So that's what's so funny about this incident. But anyways, it's funny how two senior executives, the CEO of a company and the VP of HR, caught getting cozy at a Coldplay concert, and now their reputations are being shredded in real time. And I want to also say this on a limb. I'm not defending them at all. I am not defending the CEO. I'm not defending the VP of HR. They both were cheating on their spouses, and they both were dishonoring their families. So I'm not defending them, but I do want to point something out. It's really crazy how powerful cancel culture is and how powerful the internet virality, so to speak, is in this world. I mean, like this guy in this moment is all over LinkedIn. He's getting memed. And I first saw it on LinkedIn and I thought it was maybe just a LinkedIn thing. Like maybe I was following people that knew like what it was. But then I went on Instagram and like this moment was all over my Instagram too. Like Instagram is not related to like the corporate world at all. And it's crazy because like this dude's being publicly roasted, dissected, and canceled. And I mean, like I guarantee you he's getting tons of DMs. I saw that he deactivated his account. The internet doesn't care about titles anymore. That they don't care about if you have family. They don't care like who you know. Like the mob is hungry and anyone can be the next target. And it really raises the question, like, are we too quick to destroy people online before knowing the full story? Because, I do know the story now, but it's like, we never know. I mean, maybe he's in the middle of a divorce and he's like gonna leave his family or something, and this was already a relationship they were already in. I doubt that's what happened, but like, dang guys, they really tore this guy to shreds. So like I said, I'm not defending him, but it's pretty crazy how viral these things can go now, and like no one is safe from cancel culture, the mob, and going viral nowadays. So I want you guys to really take that into account the next time you guys are thinking about cheating on your girl or cheating on your man if you're a woman, and all these different things. Just really take that into account. But the main point I want to touch on here is this illusion of corporate morality. Like I think a lot of us, especially younger people, when we get into the workforce, a lot of times we view managers as like, these adults. Or actually, let me backtrack. When we're kids, we view adults as like people who know everything or like people that have it figured out. And once you become adult, you realize that adults don't really know what the hell they're even doing in the first place. And I think that's kind of the same thing with the corporate world. Like when I first entered the workforce, I got my first corporate job as a recruiter. As you guys know, I ran like a small business, for a couple of years. But like my first like white collar job was a recruiter. And when I got this job, like, I would view my managers as like people that were like smarter than me or like that maybe knew more. And like, I'm not negating or like discrediting the experience that they have. Like, they definitely had more experience than I did. But like, as I've even gotten slightly older and been in the workforce a couple more years, the more I realize like managers a lot of times don't know shit. They really don't. Like, they're just happen to be in the right place at the right time, and they happen to be at the company maybe longer than you did, or maybe they knew the owner, or like I said, they were the right place at the right time. And like I said, I'm not saying that they don't know anything, but the world is changing extremely fast, especially with AI, especially with technology, different softwares, things in that nature. And, a lot of times things are changing so fast that a lot of the things that they were taught, a lot of things that they knew might be outdated. And, most managers, most corporations, most companies, they preach about, oh, we're a family. Oh, you're definitely a family, but like, we're a family, we're a corporation, culture this, culture that. Man, shut the hell up, man. Like, seriously, shut the fuck up. Like, it's so fucking annoying. And I'm so sick of hearing about it. Oh, we're a fucking family, blah, blah, blah. And like, the company makes $70 million more than the year before, and they give you an extra pizza. Like, and then like the CEO and the VP of HR get caught having an affair. I just think it's so funny. They preach about integrity. They preach about professionalism. They preach about company values. HR departments enforce strict codes. No dating coworkers. Report relationships. Maintain boundaries. Yet the VP of HR probably blew that dude after the concert. Like, it's just so funny to me. Like, it's so funny to me that like they are hypocrites. At the end of the day, they are hypocrites. And I think it's hilarious. Like I said, I do think that, like I said, not defending him, but I think 1% of me is like, dang, like they're really getting ripped to shreds online. But at the same time, like, I guarantee you in that company, I don't work for Astronomer, but if I did, I guarantee you in the company handbook talks about not dating coworkers, talks about keeping, relationships platonic in the workplace. Well, they didn't keep it platonic. That's for dang sure. And I just think it's hilarious, the hypocrisy that these departments have. HR departments, human resource departments are literally exist literally to protect the company, not the employees. Like, this is corporate, one-on-one, like, stuff here. But if you ever have a problem with like a manager, a problem with a coworker, my advice would be not to ever go to HR, because quite frankly, like, it's not always going to stay anonymous, and they exist to protect the company. Don't go into HR bad-mouthing the company and things of that nature, because quite frankly, they don't necessarily care, and like, they're going to protect the company at all costs. And most people have lost jobs for much smaller things than this. That's what I think pisses me off the most about this whole situation. Like, back in 2021, when the jabs were coming out, people were literally losing their job because they were not complying to get a forced jab for something that had no long-term studies done on it, and people were losing their jobs, right? People lost their jobs for, showing up late one day or making a joke, and they get fired for a joke, or, logging on late or something, like, people have gotten fired for way worse things. And, they turn around, the HR department turns around and does this. And, HR is the supposed moral enforcer, and they're breaking the rules the very same time. Not only corporate rules, but relationship rules and morality rules, cheating on their spouses. And I think the thing, like I said, that makes this scenario so freaking hilarious to me is that many people, executives, CFOs, CEOs, COOs, C-suite people, board directors, all of these types of corporate elites, they think that they're morally superior to the people that are actually in the trenches and running these businesses, on a day-to-day level. And a lot of times it's politics, it's privilege, it's different types of power hoarding. And like I said, that's the most frustrating thing, is like, these people a lot of times will talk down to people, look at you like you're nothing. You're like disposable, which is a lot of times how society looks at men in general. They think men are disposable, kind of push you to the side type of thing. But this is the thing, like, these corporate elites, they're not better than you. And the higher you go, the more insulated they are until they get caught. This happens in politics. This happens in wars. This happens in, corporations, as we see. And you're not crazy for feeling like your company doesn't truly care about you. You're not crazy for realizing the amount of BS a lot of employees are putting up with in today's workforce. You're not crazy for feeling a little upset with the different types of wealth disparity in this country. I mean, I think I'm all for entrepreneurship. I'm all for making money, but I feel like year over year over year over year, the goalpost just keeps getting moved farther and farther and farther for the average man. I feel like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And quite frankly, if you owned assets before, COVID, you probably got a lot richer since then. And if you didn't, you got a lot poorer. And but maybe realize that a lot of these corporations don't care about you. They're going to keep trying to profit as much as they can, throw as many pizza parties they can, and then cheat on their spouses and go to a Coldplay concert and get your dick sucked. Like, that's the thing that's freaking hilarious to me. And you're not less intelligent or moral than your boss. Most companies sell values, but they reward power in the end. And the lesson I took from this incident is don't idolize corporations or their leaders, right? Focus on building your own values and character and what you need to do in your life. What happened at the Coldplay concert, it wasn't just some random drama, right? It's basically this mirror that's held up to corporate America, right? This whole cancel culture and the fake professionalism many companies pretend to uphold. And a lot of you guys who, have corporate jobs or white collar jobs can attest to this. Like, the amount of just random BS that they spit and random stuff that they say all the time, it's just so fake, how was the weekend, John? Stuff like that. Nice weather we're having. Ha ha ha. We got this Monday morning meeting to talk about, how we're tracking towards company targets. It's just all this BS. And the sad truth is no one is really safe, from this. At any corporate job you go to, the management a lot of times is kind of the bridge between the executives and the entry level staff. So it is kind of a necessary evil. But always watch out for yourselves, guys. Make sure you're getting taken care of in your job. Make sure there's a path to promotion if you want it, or make sure you at least have some sense of freedom in your day-to-day role. And the same HR that punishes you will break the rules behind your back. So the next time someone in power tries to lecture you on ethics, or next time you have to go to an ethics meeting or listen to these executives, talk about, good and evil and bad and, good company practice, just remember that they're human too. They're not better than you. And a lot of times they're actually probably worse, right? They're flawed, they're self-interested, and they're not above the rules they enforce. So, I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but I'm curious. Do you guys think cancel culture has gone too far, or do you think it was justified in terms of how much news and press that this incident received, or is it just finally holding powerful people accountable, right? So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories about different corporate elites or maybe managers you had in a past role that really grinded your gears, or maybe they got under your skin. But this whole scenario just made me laugh, and maybe just realize the real hypocrisy of HR, the real hypocrisy of these corporations. And, they think their shit don't stink, and they think that they're a lot of times above you. So if you like this video, if you thought it was funny, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll be around covering a bunch of different topics here on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.